And we are back for another edition of Behind the Uniform, Season 2. And we are off to a great start. Behind the Uniform Season 1 was such an outstanding endeavor, but you got to understand the reason for the platform. Of course, we like to get to know the student athletes on a deeper level, but there was a mission behind it as well, where we want to expand the financial literacy, the wellness, and the education of the student athletes. In the NIL era, it is more necessary than ever. And we feel like knowing these guys like we do for as long as we do, we feel like it's a responsibility, frankly, because you get close to these guys, like you feel like you got to help them out, right? And so that's a part of it as well. Want to entertain you, want to inform you, want to connect you, and want to help them at the same time. That's what Behind the Uniform is all about. We have a lot of great partners in this endeavor that help us along the way. Want to start out with our friends over at Golden Limo, who are doing a lot to help us shuttle different opportunities around. And so whether it's our big time barbecue at the big house effort that you guys have gotten a chance to see, or many of the great game day options that people are a part of, Golden Limo gets you there on time, every time. So make sure you take advantage of some of these great opportunities that Golden Limo is providing for you. If you're looking for executive transport, airport transport, or game day transport, Golden Limo is the place to go. If you have ground transportation needs, get to your destination on time, every time with Golden Limo. Their fleet of charter buses, executive sprinters, mid-size vans, party buses, luxury SUVs, and even a trolley, their service and attention to every detail is second to none, and their track record for safety is beyond reproach. Whether you're traveling in Southeast Michigan, throughout the United States, or even abroad, Golden Limo has you covered. And now when you make a reservation with Golden Limo using the Golden Ticket, you'll be supporting Michigan NIL and a great military charity. Golden Limo founder and CEO Sean Duvall has been a great supporter of Michigan NIL, first through his NIL partnership with Will Johnson and his toy drive, and then through Will's Golden Limo NIL ambassadorship. And now in 2024, Sean and Golden Limo are back with an NIL partnership with Zeke Berry. Sean Duvall also comes from a military family and is a passionate supporter of military charities. One of those charities is Freedom River. Freedom River is a comprehensive outdoor recreation center located in Brighton, Michigan that assists in reassimilation of U.S. military service members, veterans, and their families. A portion of your reservation fee will go there, and that's not all. There's one more perk. Once a month, one Golden Ticket reservation will be selected to attend an exclusive party after the season. That party will include Zeke Berry, Samaj Morgan, maybe some other guests. I know it will include the film study crew, Al Borges, Vance Bedford, doing an exclusive film study breakdown in front of the audience that is at that party. It'll have the Dropping Dimes crew with Devin Gardner, Daniel Horton. Maybe it'll include you, but only if you book through Golden Limo using the Golden Ticket once per month. A Golden Ticket reservation will be selected to go to that party with 3 guests, but only if you book your reservation through Golden Limo using the Golden Ticket. All you have to do to book your Golden Ticket reservation is go to goldenlimo.com/Golden Ticket or call their team at 734-668-8282 and mention Golden Ticket to book your transportation reservations today. And now we welcome in our second guest of the season, a young man that I remember the first time I saw him. I was at a camp with one of my guys, Reggie Wins, a Rising Stars camp. And there were some guys who had some Power 5 offers, other guys who were Power 5 commits. And in walks this guy from a basketball practice and dominated them all. He didn't have any offers at the time. Once that camp was over, a week later, I think he had 3 or 4 offers. His name is Giovanni El-Hadi. Gio, how you doing?
I'm doing good, boss man. How you doing?
Doing great, man. So I tell that story from my perspective. That was the first time I saw you, and I remember we wrote something up that day. I remember talking to a few coaches or scouts. I remember it wasn't that long until Michigan kind of reached out, had you on campus, and I think they offered you maybe a week or 2 later. But kind of take us through that whole process from your perspective, going from basketball practice to that camp.
Okay. So I had basketball practice, my coach, which is my godfather, he called me up. He goes, I want to take you to this training session. He didn't tell me what it was. He just told me, you're going to go train, get better at football. I said, no problem. So I'm still over there wearing my basketball gear. He picked me up right after basketball practice. And, I get there, doing the drills, going over everything. And I started killing these kids. I just turned, I was freshly 15, I was going to my sophomore year of high school. And I'm going against the kids. And then after everything was over, the kids came up to me, what college you going to, or are you in college and all that? And I'm like, I'm 15, and I don't blame them. I had the same beard.
Yeah, you had a beard, right.
I had the same beard since now. So I did look like a grown-ass man. But after I told him that, and then after Coach Wynn heard that, it was just, after that video came out. I think, like you said, 4 to 5 offers that week. And then after that, the offers kept flying out. Clemson, Bama, LSU talking about flying out to come see me at school. And then, I wasn't used to that. But I still remember the first time I got my first offer. I was just playing the video game with my boys late at night. I think this is the day after the video came out, actually. And I'm playing, and then I get a text from Coach Wynn. He's talking about Iowa State offer. Oh, I went crazy. Grabbed my headset, grabbed the controller, threw it at the wall. I'm screaming. It's late at night. My mom was sleeping. I got an offer, And my brother comes in the room. He's jumping with me, And, because that was always a dream of mine, And my dream started becoming a reality. And then the next morning, I got off from Central Michigan, 6 a.m. I'm sleeping. I get a call. This time I'm answering any call because I don't know what the call could be. Central Michigan, we offer you. I'm going crazy. But the funniest story, I think my whole recruiting, out of all my offers, was Penn State. They were my 3rd or 4th offer. And I was in the shower getting ready to go to a basketball game. And I get a call, my music stops, I get a call, and I jump out the shower, all soap, all water all over me. And I answer the phone. It's all soap dripping everywhere, And I was trying to compose myself, not sound too excited or anything, And it was Penn State, and then they offered me. I remember I was looking at the mirror, I'm going crazy. I'm jumping up and down, and it was really fun. And then, obviously Michigan. My coaches told me Michigan offered me before they offered me, but they said just act surprised, right?
Right.
They said act surprised, on your visit, but I didn't act surprised. I was, I remember when Coach Harbaugh brought me into his office, because by the way, did they tell you? I said, tell me what? That we offer you? All my questions down the drain. I couldn't even think. I was just starstruck, And I think I committed 3 days later, and I always stay committed,
Yeah, man. I remember because I think there was a kid that was committed to Purdue. There were guys there, legit dudes. Mm-hmm. And some of them were bigger. So your basketball season, you lose weight anyway,
250.
Right? 250.
Yeah.
And so we could see the athleticism, you could move, but you had the power as well. And it was impressive that, man, you made it straight off of, these dudes been training football the whole time. Mm-hmm. And you were able to just come right in and do it. And that said a lot to us just coming to watch, because it took a lot just to get there. I think it was a blizzard that we had to drive through.
Yeah,
we had to drive through to get there.
Crazy like that.
Yeah, so you had, not only did you have to come from practice, you had to go through a blizzard. You haven't been football training to go against these Power 5 guys that's been training football, and you went out there and you dominated. That just said a lot as far as the competitive spirit was concerned, and then the ability was concerned. And so talking to coaches, because we talked to coaches about it, it was like, okay, we'll check them out. Next thing you know, boom.
Yeah.
It was all over the Midwest. Yeah. And now then the questions started arising, what can he play? What line positions that can he play? And then start coming back and, man, you were saying you could play any line position, basically.
Yeah, I was playing in high school. I played. Because we played in one of the tougher divisions in Michigan, but we only had 30 kids. out of like 2,500 kids, you know? Like we had more kids in our band than the football team. So I was playing both sides. I was playing any position. They put me on the best player, guard, you know, the right side, the left side. And then on defense, I played the whole time. I was playing all the special teams but kickoff. Because I'm like, hey, coach, like, I can't breathe. You know, like,
Right.
you know, like I was telling coach, and I did that for the next 3 years, you know, because no one was playing like on our team. Like, and we were doing good, you know. We made the playoffs first time my sophomore year in like 20 years. And then we should have won the state championship my junior year, but we won't talk about that.
Hey man, but listen, you know, that was something for Stevenson. I mean, that, you know, for what you were doing, for the ride that you were on and the rides that you were on, I mean, that was unique. That was special.
Yeah,
that was special.
It
So
was. And I got to help my other teammates, you know, started getting looked at, you know, which made me happy too. You know, they started getting offers. And there wasn't no hype around Stevenson. You know, people didn't really know about the school. So it was cool. High school was really good.
Yeah, and so you commit to Michigan. That was at a time where you look around and, you know, you got some other guys in the state that they were big time too, and you were talking about going to school together, and then some of these dudes go to Notre Dame and go to other places, and you stuck it out with Michigan while they were going to these other places. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. You know, because I remember when I committed to Michigan, you know, my godfather and my head coach, they told me like Alabama, Clemson, LSU flying out that week to come see me at school. They said, are you sure you want to do this? You know, because we don't want you to be like these other kids that are going to decommit and not be a man of their words. I said, no, like, this is what I want to do. And then ever since then, I never looked back.
Yeah, because, you know, when you committed to Michigan, it was at a time where, you know, Michigan hadn't really, it's not like it is now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, I mean, you going to Big Ten championships, that's routine. National championship coming off of that. It's a lot easier. Not to say that it's, you know, it wasn't a great place to commit to when you went there, but it wasn't the championship program at that time when you committed. And so, you know, for you to do it at the time that you did it wasn't as popular as it is now.
Yeah, 100%. You know, especially after I committed, then JJ committed, then Dano, and then we started getting all these big recruits. And then, you know, we came in, and then the whole program changed. You know, it's so crazy. Like, now we're 3-time Big Ten champs, national championships. It still doesn't feel real. But I felt like we seen something that other people didn't see at the time. We seen how really great the coaches were, you know, and we seen like what Coach Harbaugh was trying to do. And we trusted Coach Harbaugh, we trusted Coach Herb, and we did what we had to do.
So we've seen you on the field. I mean, you know, you've been in games, you've played some games, you've gotten some significant snaps. Obviously, though, I mean, not as many snaps as you have won. Every guy wants to play more, right? When they are a full-time starter. How have you dealt with that? How have you been able to process that in your time in Michigan?
Yeah, we were talking about it a little earlier. You know, I'm very religious. You know, before anything happens in my life, you know, good or bad, I always trust in God. So it wasn't easy, of course, but you know, nothing great in life is easy. If it was easy, it wouldn't be great. You know, so I just trusted in God's plan. You know, because sometimes my plan is not what God has in store for me, and obviously it wasn't. You know,
Right.
Of course I want to play more. Of course I want to contribute more. You know, not just personally, but for the team. So I just stuck out. You know, and now I'm ready. You know, like this is my year. I'm ready to put it all on the field.
Yeah, man. It's there's so many different kinds of adversity. There's the wait in your turn adversity that just comes when you have someone in front of you. There's the injury adversity too.
Yeah.
Injuries are a part of football, man.
Yeah.
You know, you had to deal with that too, right? So what about that piece of it? Just getting hurt and have to bounce back, fight back from that.
You know, thank God I have had no major injuries, you know, like, you know, pulled muscles or, you know, I had a bad case of jumper's knee, you know, patella tendon, you know, my freshman year, but just trust the process, trust the trainers, you know, take care of your body. Like, that's what I had to learn big time coming to college because, you know, in high school, you know, you do a little ice tub, you know, a little ice bath, but you're not really taking care of your body like that. Now you have nutritionists. Now you got people that or keep telling you take care of your body, you know, and if you're not doing it, it's a whole different level than high school. You're not versing no little kids, you're versing all people just as good as you and better, you know. So I just had to really understand, you know, prehab, nutrition, and rehab, you know. So I went all in on that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why now I'm healthy, you know, I'm ready to do it all.
So I'm going to tell you something, and I just tell you because you're here in this present company, but because I believe it. It was like, you know, pick your breakout player on offense. And to me, a breakout player is like a guy who you haven't really seen a whole lot before. I was like, man, you know, people don't really pick offensive linemen as breakout players. And I'm going to pick Giovanni El-Hadi as the breakout player
I appreciate
on offense.
you.
And so for a breakout player to be for an offensive lineman to register as a breakout player, a non-stat position, how would you really quantify that? I said, man, I think this dude has the talent to be an all Big Ten player. He has that kind of talent. I expect him to be that. So, well, where's he been? He's been behind guys who, like Zach Zenner and Trevor Keegan.
Yeah.
That's what it's been. It's not a talent thing. And so, how about that? Because that's what I want to dig into with you, because it reminds me of a conversation I had with Donovan last year. You mentioned Donovan. He was talking about how he had this plan. You know, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna kill it my junior year. And then Blake came back and he said, man, I said, Blake, man, what's up, man? He was like, what are you? What's? Come on, man, this ain't. Go to the league. He was like, I was feeling so. He's like, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you got to do what's best for you. I get it. But he was like, it's not like I was happy about that at first.
Yeah.
It took me a minute, and then I was like, okay, he got to do what's best for him, and then we have to think about the team. But I had to adjust to that, and I wonder if that was something that you had to do as well.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say it. Like me and Dano, we say we have a similar path, you know, because, you know, I thought the same thing because the previous year, same thing with Dano, you know, had a great year, started 3-4 games, you know, played every game, you know, and I was thinking Keegs was leaving, you know, and then he decided to come back. You know, it wasn't easy, just like Dano said, you know, because I had this plan, you know, either, you know, play this whole year, start, either, you know, leave that year or the following year, no matter how good I do, you know, and obviously help the team, you know, win with the team, like be a big contribute to winning, you know. But it didn't happen, you know.
Right.
It didn't happen, so I had to get used to that, you know, and then like like I said, trusting God's plan. And then it wasn't the year I wanted, but we won. That's
did.
That's all that mattered.
You did, but it's not like, I mean, look, you got to sit and break, because other teams and people aren't going to make it easy. Because now, in this era, people are coming for you. Like, teams are coming for us. Like, hey, well, you sit the bench over there or come start over here.
Yeah.
So how about that piece? How did you fend that off?
So, yeah, I was getting offers from other teams, you know. I was getting other players from other teams telling me to come, you know, and obviously NIL and everything, they're throwing pretty big bags, you know. And don't get me wrong, that money, it looks good, you know, but I know my family could use that money, you know, but I thought about it, you know. Like I said, I had to trust in God's plan, you know, and it's hard for people to really trust in that plan because you want what's best for you at the end of the day, but God wants what's best for you too. So I thought about it. No matter how good the money is, I love the coaches, you know. I love the environment, you know. That's why the players, you know. And I knew they would take me to that next level. Not just me going to another team, even if I do start, you know. But it's something different about Michigan and how they develop players. And you could ask anybody in the league or anywhere, you know. Like, they get you ready for the pros. Like, I don't want to just go in the NFL and just go there. I want to go there and play and be good in the NFL, you know, hold my own. So that's why I truly decided to stay.
Yeah, it feels like maybe history repeats itself when all of the coaching changes. I mean, Harbaugh A bunch of the staff goes to the Chargers, right? You got a bunch of guys, they just graduated or they're going to the league. So there's a lot of change. And you guys won the championship. And so now it's like, man, schools, coaches from all over the country are trying to get guys from Michigan to come. You guys had decisions to make. Do we leave or do we stay together? Now, Gio, I imagine you got to make a decision again. I mean, you got a starting position in front of you, but it's a whole lot of other teams out here, and they're calling for your teammates too. So now you gotta go pray again, right?
Yeah, I had to go pray again, but look, I trusted the process since I was 15, since I committed. You know, like I said, no matter how hard something gets, you know, I never gave up. I'm not gonna start now, or I'm not gonna change the scenery just be something ain't going my way or whatever anybody thinks, you know? So I wasn't leaving no matter what this year.
Neither did your teammates, though. That's what sticks out to me.
We trusted Coach Moore. You know, Coach Moore was my online coach, you know? So him being head coach is just gonna help me more.
You're right.
So, and his style, just like last year, he showed all 4 games that he was the head coach. Like, we won them and we dominated, you know? He got that mean streak in him. You know, that's how we want not just the O-line to be, but all of our players to be, you know? We love being the underdogs. We love when people doubt us just so we could prove them wrong. You know, it wouldn't feel right if the country felt like we were good, you know? Because ever since we got there, no one thought we were good. No one thought we were anything. So we love the underdog show. We love being doubted just so we keep proving all the enemies, all the teams wrong, you know? Yeah. So Coach Moore, he's that guy. He's the best, you know.
Gotcha. All right, so let's pause for the cause because I want to come back and look ahead to this season. But I said at the onset that one of the major focuses of this program is to enhance the financial literacy, the financial wellness, and the financial education of the student athletes that we come in contact with. We want to impact the young men that we connect with and young women that we're going to connect with. And that's what brought the Financial Literacy Bootcamp to life. And so the first part of the Financial Literacy Bootcamp took us to the University of Michigan Credit Union. And so you stopped by UMCU, Gio. So they have their program that they call their Playbook for Prosperity, where they introduce you to basically the foundational aspects to your financial wellness. So here is their Playbook for Prosperity.
Let's just talk about financial wellness.
Okay.
Just high level. If I were to ask you guys, what would I see if somebody is financially healthy? What would I see that person doing? And not a trick question. Sort of, what are some of those basics, Gio?
Not worrying about money, first off.
Okay.
You know,
Like that.
saving more than you spend.
Great.
Always good.
Yeah.
You can have nice things.
Yes.
You know, we only live once.
Yep.
But doesn't mean you have to spend everything on nice things.
Good.
You know, you could dabble a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, get a little chain or
Yeah, just a
some
little.
nice clothes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but
something like
at the end of the day, if you can't spend your money 5 times the amount of this thing or piece of clothes, you shouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gio, can I ask you, not a trick question, same or different, savings, investing? What do we think? Are those different?
Very different.
Could you tell me more?
So saving, you know, you make a certain amount, you save it.
Okay.
And investing, you make an amount and you take a portion of it and invest to make more money.
Okay.
So
Good.
I'd rather invest.
Yeah.
You know, because you keep
Yeah.
adding a little,
Okay.
and it keep doing more and more.
Okay.
So Gio, you took a trip over to UMCU. What did you learn?
So I learned how bad it is if you miss a credit payment. You know, I didn't know much about credit. You know, I know you need good credit for a house and, you know, for a car. And in the future, you know, it's good to have a good credit so banks trust you to be able to buy stuff, you know. but I didn't know if you miss a payment that it drops your credit from like 70 to 100 points, and it take you 6 to 12 months just to build it back up. So that was a big, that was the biggest thing I learned. But you know, also like they're just asking us personal questions like, are you a spender? Are you a saver? In this situation, would you save? Would you invest? You know, how it will look your credit if you were trying to buy this $45,000 Bronco. And, you know, they made it like they did it in a fun way. You know, they gave us each a card. They didn't tell us what the number was, but they'll tell us to flip it over. I remember Mason had 600, right, credit score. And
Mason been missing payments.
you know, he had a 600 credit score, and you know, then he broke it down. He goes, okay, so we're gonna do like a 20% interest on this car, and at the end, you know, you're gonna pay an extra $24,000. Is it a deal or no deal? You know, obviously no deal. You don't want to pay an extra $24,000. You know, and me, you know, mine was a little better. It was $650. So, you know, it was like 12% interest. You know, it was like an extra, you know, $12,000. You know, no deal, sir. I'm good. You know, I'll go get a whoopty at that point. You know, and then KG had the best credit score, 730. You know, it was 6%. You know, interest, and you know he had to pay extra $6,000. Deal, 100%.
Right.
You know, so they did everything in a fun way, which made us understand more. And like, we got to ask questions. They asked us, what did you learn the most? You know, they taught us about the stock market. You know, and how to invest. You know, real estate. So it was really a good experience. You know, after we got to play the game a little bit, so it was good. You know, they did it in a fun way. Owning like apartment complexes.
Okay,
Plazas,
that's cool.
You know, real estate in general.
Yeah.
Because that's where the money's at.
Yeah, for sure.
Creating generational wealth, you know, for my kids, their kids, so they never have to worry about money.
Yeah.
I think they hit everything. There's one more thing, like you said, what we don't like about credit.
Yeah.
If you're late.
Right.
Late.
It goes
Yes, we're gonna yeah. And we'll just chat a little bit about that. What that does to your score.
That's probably the worst part about a credit card, when your credit score keeps going down because you're late or something like that.
Yeah, it can. It can be pretty. That's one of the worst things that can happen. So.
Yeah, man, they have. It has been since I've gotten to know about UMCU. They have made it a point to engage younger people on the basics of finances, of your finances, of banking, of saving, of writing checks and credit. Yeah. Because when you know, being a college student, you walk on campus, man, it's like they're trying to get you to sign up for credit cards left and right. You think, oh, free money. Yeah. Man, every time they get you to sign up for credit, that's a credit inquiry that is affecting your credit score. Things to think about, things that you learn. Especially with NIL. Nowadays, you know, football players get more than they've ever gotten. So, you know, some of us aren't the brightest, you know, with our money, you know. But see, we're working to change that. That's what this is about. You know, and like we appreciate that, you know, because yes, we are grown men, you know, but we're still young men. We still don't understand that part of life that our parents do, that you do, you know, so. That's why we're doing it. That's part of why we're doing this. Yeah. And see, you're gonna help spread the word. You're gonna tell your teammates, and then Mason, we're gonna get that 600 up. That's not Mason's real score. that's not Mason's real score, right? Yeah. We're gonna spread the word. You're gonna help, and it's not just aimed at college students or at players either. You know, for young people in general, to learn more about the basics of their finances and having a great foundation. So when you get out of college, guess what? You don't have that financial anchor that a lot of kids, a lot of young people have when they get out of school. And that's what the playbook for prosperity with the University of Michigan Credit Union is all about. And so from there, Gio, you made your way over to Morgan Stanley with Dave Hemmick. So if you got your foundation set, you got your financial wellness established, now it's time to grow from it. It's time to build on that foundation. It's time to invest and build wealth. And so what did you learn when you made it over to Morgan Stanley?
So before I got to Morgan Stanley, like I understood a little bit about stocks, I understood a little bit about everything, just from over the years learning. But they really went through all the steps. It was a 12-step program, and they teach you about every step in detail. They help you understand. Like I've met with other financial advisors, and they didn't really teach me anything. Like they'll tell me what they're doing, but I want to know. I want to understand it by myself too, and that's why I appreciate it. Like I knew about stocks, but I didn't know in detail how stocks work. How investments work, how important it is to invest in over time, how much money you can make from those investments, how like 75% of all the years from when the stock market opened up that it's been in the plus. No matter if it looks bad right now, your stocks look bad, they're eventually gonna go up, and taxes too. I didn't realize how much money, that the government takes for taxes. And I realized Michigan takes a lot more than some other states, which kind of sucks. But he taught me that, they take like 40 to 50%. So whatever money you make, it's not what it seems like. It's mostly half. And that kind of sucked learning that too. I wish I knew that a little earlier before, I was spending that money.
Right.
But and also like they were helping me get a credit card, and I appreciated that too because I do want to start building my credit. I do want to start doing these things for the future. So I'm set up, and they're helping me set up for the future.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. To have the right people help you take the right steps and to teach you what to do.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, telling you what to do is fine, but what about when they aren't around?
Yeah, 100%. Just like when your mama ain't around.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you need a little knowledge so you can take a few steps on your own when you have to.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's great about the crew over at Morgan Stanley. Dave and his crew do a terrific job with that. And one of the things I've heard them say, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit, all this money that you're making with NIL, Tyler mentioned it the other day, you just put a little bit of it away now.
Yeah.
And don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you retire, you got a nice little chunk.
A little bit is a lot now.
Yeah, it's a lot in 20, 30, 40 years from now.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. So, listen, trying to make you and those in your age group a lot more knowledgeable with their finances. So, one player, one young person at a time, Gio. One young person at a time.
100%.
Now it's your time, Gio. I mean, not that anyone is anointed, but this feels like your time. I feel like when we talk about Michigan's offensive line, I start with you because I feel like I know what kind of ability you have. For people who don't know you or your game, kind of break down what you bring to the table, your game, your style. I mean, what will they see when they see Giovanni El-Hadi?
I'm mean. You might see a smile right now, but on that field is a whole different person, I move better than I look, even though I look pretty good. I just, other than just what I do on the field, it's also the players around me, I hype everyone up, let them know that this is our house, you know what I'm saying? And I pray for our enemies, our opponents, because we're not gonna give them no mercy like God does, Like we're gonna give them everything we got. I'm gonna give them everything I got. I'd rather die on that field than fail, I truly believe that with all my heart, That's why I'm so ready. Show the world, what not just I could do, but what our team could do against everybody that's doubting us, everybody that doesn't believe in us, Keep not believing. We're gonna keep punching everyone in the mouth and keep showing them what Michigan football is about, and it starts with the O-line.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things they say. Yeah, it starts with the O-line, and look how much Michigan lost from the O-line. That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why they say they doubt Michigan.
Yeah.
Is because of the O-line. Now, do you listen to that or do you totally tune that out?
No, we totally tuned that out. We got dogs. We got, no matter who leaves or whatever, we always got dogs that are waiting. They're hungry. They're ready to eat. We got a great O-line coming up. Whoever is starting at the end of the day, we got Miles, the best tackles in the nation. He's going to prove himself, Preebs from Northwestern, we got battle at center between Kripp and Raheem. They're both great centers. The same thing with right tackle, we got battle between Percy and Gentry. And they're both great tackles too. So they could keep saying how bad our line is, but we'll see when we're one of the finalists for the Joe Moore Award.
Okay, all right. So I hear you on that. Now, a big part of Michigan continuing in the vein of success that you guys have had is just the culture in general carrying over. There are a lot of big time contributors that left. How do you maintain the culture? Yeah, I hear you saying, you got some guys ready to step up and play well. How do you keep the culture the same?
We know we have to withhold the standard that previous teams have done, what we have learned from the other players from the previous years, And the coaches help us with that too. Coach Moore, like I said, he's one of the best coaches in the country, not just because he was my O-line coach or he's our head coach. We trusted him. We believe in his process. We believe what he tells us and what he has planned for us. So I feel like when you believe and you trust in your program and each other, that you could do anything, and that's what we're doing, Yes, we did lose a lot of players. Yes, lost some, a lot of great players, but we got a lot of great players on our team, We got great QB, great running backs. I feel like our defense is better than last year's, even though that's crazy for some people to say, We got a lot of great players that are ready to show themselves again, just like what we did last year.
Who do you see stepping up in a leadership, from a leadership standpoint, and specifically when it comes to, when I say maintaining the culture, hey fellas, we're not doing what we need to do. That kind of leadership. Hey fellas, you need to step it up. Or we're not holding each other accountable in a way. We're not accountable like we need to be accountable. Who are those guys that are doing that for this team?
I'll say Dano. Dano always had a voice, but it's even bigger this year, And, he has not just a lot. We don't just have a lot to prove, and even himself doesn't have a lot to prove for himself too. But, he's always on our asses. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I could cuss. He's always on our butts, like letting us know the standard that we have to uphold. And we got some vocal leaders. We got some leaders that lead by example. I feel like I'm a little bit of both,
Mm-hmm.
Colson Loveland, and he has all the right to, he showed out all 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
he has a voice. Will Johnson, Tyler, Mason, KG. We got so many leaders on this team. And whoever is the captains, that's not the only leaders on the team,
Mm-hmm.
We got a leader in every position group. And I feel like that's what's important,
Mm-hmm.
And not just one, but multiple, and then we're withholding that standard and not just the team, but each other. I feel like that's what's the most important.
I got you. So you said you feel like defense could be better than last year?
Yeah, I do. I really do, like I know we lost Junior, we lost our DNs, we lost Mikey, we lost a lot of great players, but we got a lot of great players that came back. We still got Will, Mason, and KG, the two best D tackles in the country.
Yeah.
We got Josiah that's back, one of the best DNs, D Moore, and we got TJ. TJ, a big time playmaker. He's gonna show himself this year too.
Okay.
Our linebackers, Jay Sean. Man, he a big boy, man. And he can move and he be bringing that boom, and he's athletic as hell. And even Earn, really, our linebacker core is really great this year.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question, not to put you on the spot as we wrap things up. So Coach Moore moves from the OC to the head coach position, which slides Coach Campbell into the OC spot. Now, your DNA is the same. You're still you're still Smash.
Yeah.
But what differences Did you? I mean, do you notice any differences so far?
No, I don't really notice any differences so far. You know, I don't want to give anybody any little game plan against us, but we trust Coach Campbell. You know, we trust Coach Moore, and obviously they work together. You know, and at the end of the day, no matter if we throw the ball, if we run the ball, play action, we're gonna smash. You know, just because it's pass pro doesn't mean we have to be passive. We still put someone on the ground. You know, still be tough, and that comes from all the way from the O-line to the running backs, to the wide receivers, even the QB. Don't let Orgy run. He'll put you on your back, you know. Right. And we're just keeping that mentality in the whole line. No matter if we run the ball more, pass the ball more, even whatever the game plan is, depending on the team we verse. It's smash football at the end of the day. We're gonna bring it to you. Let's see what you could do against us.
Yeah, Orgy's scary, man.
Yeah, you know why? He a big man. That's a big QB right there.
Not as scary as Giovanni El-Hadi is the move tight end in the jumbo package, right? I mean, when you guys pulled that package out, was the Penn State game? I don't think you were the move guy against Penn State. I don't think you were.
No, I don't think I was.
But I think that was the first time I remember seeing that package because you guys were running it down their throats.
Yeah.
Had you run that? Had you guys played with that package before that game?
Yeah. You know, Coach Moore, we like putting a little extra beef on the line, you know.
Man.
And if you can't stop it, we're gonna keep bringing it. We're gonna keep bringing it to you. They
couldn't stop.
Just like against Penn State, we ran the ball like 23 times in a row, second half.
Yeah.
You know, last year, if you can't stop it, we're gonna keep putting as many linemen as possible. You know?
Yeah, they couldn't stop it. And then, what was the Big Ten championship game?
Yeah, Big Ten championship. We had at the time I think we called it Walrus or something. I forgot what we called it exactly, but it was eight offensive linemen just on the line, you know, and we're just going straight. Literally a wedge play. That's all it was, you know.
Okay.
And you just can't stop. Just kind of like how the Eagles, the impossible play, you know. Yeah. So, and we love it, you know, like, you know, the big boys, you know, and because we expect our first string and second string to be the same. We withhold that standard, you know. Whoever you put it in is a starter. So when you could have 8 starting offensive linemen in, you're gonna get some push, you know.
Yeah.
So,
and then you were on the field for the last touchdown in the national championship game, weren't you?
Jumping, excited as hell.
Well, hey man, there are gonna be many more of those this season.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot for dropping by. Good luck this year. I know you're gonna do your thing.
Appreciate you, boss man. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, folks, that was another edition of Behind the Uniform. You can always check these episodes out on our YouTube page. Remember, all of the Behind the Uniforms are possible with our great sponsors. Of course, our friends at Golden Limo get you to your location, your destination on time, every time. If you have ground transportation needs, get to your destination on time, every time with Golden Limo. Ride like the Wolverines. Feel like a Wolverine when you ride with Golden Limo, the proud transportation partner for many of Michigan's sports teams and the primary transportation provider for Michigan Wolverines football. All you have to do to book your Golden Ticket reservation is go to goldenlimo.com/golden ticket or call their team at 734-668-8282 and mention Golden Ticket to book your transportation reservations today. When it comes to our financial wellness, education, and literacy initiatives, our friends at UMCU and Morgan Stanley are essential in helping us connect with these student athletes. So, of course, without them, none of this would be possible. Thanks for watching another edition of Behind the Uniform.